All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I want to take a look at the crypto-related stocks very quickly. I am working on covering the actual cryptos themselves. So this system I use, like I can't look up BTC, like there is no Bitcoin that I can look up, and it kind of sucks a little bit. But I am working on setting myself up with another system that has similar indicators, right? So working on that. Nonetheless, look. I've been talking about it on the Discord. I've been kind of flashing my thoughts here. My most immediate one, I know I just said it. Jeez, you would think I would prepare for these stuff. Sorry. 55? No, 55K. There we go. Okay. Was I there? Where is it? Right here. So there was a question earlier of what I think Bitcoin's going to do. In my opinion, I think Bitcoin's going to 55. All right. I think once we hit 55, that's where I'm going to start making some decisions, right? But I always talk about if you're in any stock, look at what the indices are doing, all right? If you are in anything related to mining, any of these crypto, all kind of related coins, you got to know where Bitcoin is, you know what I mean? So to me, and again, the other thing I mentioned, again, none of this is bragging, right? I'm just telling you how I use information. Right here. So look. I'd been saying, I said it late January, all right? And then it obviously happened early February. But once it passed that 43K that it was struggling with, it was going to destroy and just do amazing things for all the miners and stuff, right? Once it passed the wall, good things happen. You can see he used this and make some nice little marathon calls right here. And again, if I'm thinking it's going to go to 55, I'm expecting these to keep going up for another day or two, all right? It is a long weekend. I actually did not realize that. So Monday is no trading day, but the Bitcoin world and the ETH, I don't want to say stupid ones and like get it all wrong, right? But everything keeps going when the market's dead. So keep that in mind if you're going to hold these over the weekend. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's a bunch of them here, right? I'm probably going to delete a few, but you can see we already passed all these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, especially if you can click the share button. It does wonders, all right? So let's look at this. Marathon and Riot, all right? To me, these are just mirror charts, and the exact same words are basically going to be said across both, all right? You can see gap up, little drop, gap up, marathon. Gap up, little drop, gap up, literally just mirroring them. You can see bunch of moving averages down here. Look at these indicators in the positive, in the 80s, not too shabby. Let's look at Riot. All the moving averages right here in the positive, in the 80s, not too shabby, right? So literally Marathon and Riot just looking hand in hand like oh my god, it's a beautiful thing, all right? Look at all that golden cross after golden cross after golden cross on the 8 moving average. It's going above the 100, it's going above the 200, it obviously went over the 20. It seems like it's hungry to go over the 50. It looks like the 20 is about to golden cross a few as well, going over the 100 and the 200 as well, right? Let's look at Marathon. Oof, we've already well past that moment, which was back here, right? So in some ways, you can argue that Riot is still here while Marathon has gone a little further than that, as you can see, right? So just something to keep in mind. And I think that might show itself on the weekly when we look at Riot. But yeah, I am loving this. And again, here you can see again what my timing was, right? It was on the 8th where we finally just smashed that 43 wall, right? it was around the 8th that this run started to go, right? And again, in my opinion, I think we still have a little bit more room on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin, I know it looks like it's running hot, but I think we'll go to 55. I don't know. And I'm leaning towards, I don't think this is going to hit 60. This being Bitcoin, all right? I think 55K, and I wish I can show you the charts. I promise I'm planning on doing it soon. The 55K wall looks a little strong. Maybe it'll peak a little bit above it to 56K. But to me, I'm looking to play these the rest of the week. I am probably going to at least bank a good amount, if not maybe take it all off the table going into the weekend. That's kind of roughly my plan, unless something amazing happens over the next couple days, right? You know, technical analysis, you got to adjust, right? But yeah, these are ripping with the Bitcoin rip, right? And it's one thing I always talk about. Look, not everybody knows what to do, right? Like not everybody has a MetaMask account or whatever account, or, you know, there's a bunch of them, right? And the thefts across crypto wallets and like forgetting your code, like it's intimidating and scary to play with crypto for a lot of people. But you can make a 50% run going from 20 to 30 bucks, adding $10 on a stock that only had 2 sets of $10, as Bitcoin goes from 40 something to 50 something. You know what I mean? So there are ways to play the Bitcoin world without jumping in. All right. So those are the weekly views. Those are the daily views. Let's look at the weekly, right? This is overall and confirming. I love it. Marathon. Do I got lines above it? I don't. We got to draw some new lines. Let's delete all the lines. I'll do that after I look at Riot real quick. Let's delete them all. Now, I feel bad that I got rid of that trend line, but that's okay. We're well past that. Where is Riot on this? So look, again, one thing I was saying about Riot is this is still kind of doing the super escape, right? So, oh, look at that. Hold on. Give me a second. No. It's too far back. Yeah. Okay. Riot is kind of setting up to basically now break them all and fly, right? So it kind of does make sense that it, yes. Wait, Riot and Marathon look the same on the weekly? You're kidding me. No, they don't. Okay, here's the difference, I think, in my head. They do kind of look similar. Marathon is well above the 200 on the weekly. All right, it actually broke it right here, bounced, rebound, and went. All right, with Riot, that's not really what I see. There was no break right here. There wasn't. All right, it came down and is now kind of doing it, right? So yeah, Riot is a little bit behind Marathon, and hey, in some ways that could be something to take advantage of. End of the day, Bitcoin's got to keep going for these to keep going, right? So do kind of keep that in mind. But hey, if Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, oh, that'll be amazing for these, right? So yeah, for now, like I said, I'm expecting us to go to 55. I will probably adjust once I see what happens to that 55 wall, but gotta love it. And like I said, it seems like this actually did a little bit better than Bitcoin itself. So, excuse me, a little bit of a hiccup. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinion. I think that was a good combo of both of those. I want to talk about this one. This one came up on Twitter, and I at least want to flash the charts here. All right. Hood. So, Robinhood. It's funny because this, in a lot of ways, is there earnings right now? Hold on. Is that what that gap up was? No, right? Or is that just straight? I'm checking news on my phone right now just to be safe. Oh, I got to do some Lenovo stuff. Is this what happened? I have no idea. Robinhood surges on promise of profitable growth in 2024 after Q4 beat. Interesting. That's a solid gap up right there. Okay. Listen, guidance is amazing. All right. Guidance is what matters for the stock market. Nobody cares about today. Everybody cares about tomorrow. Okay. I have seen good technicals get messed up by bad earnings, and I have seen good technicals, which these are, get enhanced by good earnings. All right. this was going above all the moving averages, all right? You can see 2 of them are right there, and that's the other 3 right there. That's not quite a confirmation, but obviously this is, okay? Now, this is a doji. We've seen it. I've flashed SoFi, all right? We doji up, not even doji, this is a better candle, and we still come down, all right? I flashed RBLX, Roblox, we go up and then come down. Hopefully we're gonna go back up, right? But just because we got this today doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna continue. It generally should though. And I like this MACD, I like this RSI, and I like that volume. I do. I think this should continue up, even though it's going down a little bit after hours. I really don't care about that. I like the guidance that it just dropped. I like the Q4 beat that it just dropped. And end of the day, I do find Robinhood as a Bitcoin altcoin play as well in many ways. So the fact that Bitcoin's going up is only helping this thing, right? You can see it didn't do that same explosion around the 8th that we just saw with RIOT and Marathon, but again, it did make a nice little surge. Doesn't look like a lot, but 11 to 12 is actually a pretty decent percentage. And then obviously you enhance that a bit with earnings. We're over that line right there, right? So what's my next one up? Damn, that's the next line up, is at 15. I like that. Maybe something could be drawn around like 1450, but let's just leave this for now. Let's see how it confirms. If we actually did gap over this and are going to keep going, or if we're going to drop a little bit to 316 before we go. But again, I like this. I know RSI is a little close to 80. I'm looking at something that only what seems like a month ago was in the 93, 95, 93, 94. It was living in this 90s for long. And again, back here in the summer, it hit the 82s, 83s, 85s. It got high. It got high again right here in the 90s back in April as well. This thing knows how to go high. It does. Hood. Nice. I like it. I'm glad I covered this one. I think it was a really quick one, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be this quick, but I like it. Ooh, where are we on the weekly? Look at this weekly chart. There is no 200 moving average. When I click here, you can only see 4 moving averages on the weekly. We have smashed. My goodness. If this gets over 1530, it could be a real interesting climb. Hood. Well worth keeping an eye on Hood for sure. I'm glad I covered this actually. I want to look at HUT and WULF next. All right. Really quickly, if you can please subscribe, please share. It does wonders. So I have viewed these two as the like riskier ones. Okay. To me, the first, I mean, even Hood, I'll be honest with you, but RIOT and Marathon are on a different level in my head than HUT, than WULF. There's a couple other ones I used to cover like BT, BC. I mean, there's a bunch that are just coming to my mind, right? These did that same move. From the 8th on up, they made real good moves. And WULF, not as much as I was expecting. It does actually look like a pretty decent one now that I'm kind of zooming back and looking at it. Maybe I'm just a little greedy, right? But I like the echo from the 8th on. I think it just screams like harmony and cohesiveness with those first two. Again, I still think Bitcoin wants to go up. I still think Bitcoin wants to go to 55K. We're only at like 51, I think 52 if I'm not mistaken. So there's still a little bit of room. There's still almost 10% up. I think it wants to go. And did I do my math right? I think I did. Regardless, it still wants to go up, and I think these do too. All right. I am not too sure if we're going to get over that $3 wall. Like, I know everyone wants to get to this peak. We've already kind of actually seen Marathon get to the peak. We've already seen RIOT get to the peak. Again, my concern is just the timing. I think WULF, which is right here, not quite at the peak, and HUT, which is down here, not quite at the peak. I think they're just a little bit, again, Monday's a long holiday, all right? So there is no trading until Tuesday next week. I'm not sure how Bitcoin's going to react to that 55K wall, and that has me just a little concerned about what's going to happen over those 3 days. Because yeah, you can obviously sell a Bitcoin or any altcoin because those trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no holidays, right? You can't do that with any of these. So if you go into the weekend and you watch it drop, that could be a little bit on the scary side, right? But yeah, I'm hoping HUT comes to the next moving average. I'm hoping we can get to the 200, call it almost another 20% from this $10, right? I'm trying to get to 12 basically right there. I think WULF, which is already above it, man, we just need one good candle. Like volume's actually been pretty decent. We're not getting the candle, right? This opened at 4.8, oh, dyslexic, 248, all right? We closed today at 246. I wish we closed in that, because I would have just screamed green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 right? But I'm hoping tomorrow brings us a nice day after the doji, and it actually is something that can take us to 270, if not a little higher, all right? I would like to hold this till Friday unless I see any reasons not to, but again, come Friday, come around 55K on Bitcoin, that's when my, hesitation and caution is going to start to rise a little bit, all right? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions, but yeah, beautiful run these last, 6 days across all of these, all right? So, hey, thank you, thank you.